what are you being called to? Like, what are you drawn to? I need to explain something to you guys. You're being called and drawn to the things that are difficult, that will create the most long-term happiness and serenity in your life. Now, the people that are telling you that none of that stuff matters, those are people that are so fucking devoid of anything positive internal in them that they're still out there searching for external fucking validation, thinking that will make them happy. So their misconception is, oh, see, your physique and and getting in shape, that won't bring you happiness, which is true. But what they're talking about is that the result, the actual symptomatic result, isn't like this thing that will bring you this peace. That's accurate. It's the fucking work to get the result that brings you the happiness. Why do you think you're being drawn to those things? Because the creator of the universe doesn't want you to have a piss poor life. The reason the result of the positive act is something that people are drawn to, that is the token, that's the guide, that's the fucking goal, that's the aim. That's to give you positive reinforcement of accomplishment of doing the work that needs to be done for you to live the best life. Do you guys get that? When I always say effort driven versus results driven. A results driven person goes to get, I'm going to get in shape this year. And they don't do it because they want better physical and mental health. They do it because they think that if they get that result will bring them happiness. That's going to bring them what they think they're missing in life. They think their lack of confidence is coming from external validation. They're thinking that, see, the reason I'm embarrassed of how I look is because other people think I look bad. Let me explain something to you. Other people really don't give a fuck what you look like. They might see you and go, oh, that person's fat. But they don't sit around going like, oh man, what a fat ass. That's you. That's your internal dialogue that does that. And again, that has nothing to do with aesthetic. That's how it manifests itself because that's what you can fucking see. That's tangible. But the reason that you feel insecure about those things is because you're not supposed to be living in the way that you're living. The reason that you've gotten there is because of not living in a way that's healthy and is positive for you. And it turns into a negative outward appearance that you project at people with your own internal insecurity. Most people aren't sitting around and thinking, wow, what a fat ass. That's you thinking that. You're going, oh, I hope people don't think I'm fat. You guys are mistaking that with external validation. That's an internal insecurity. Insecurities all come from inside, guys. They don't come from other people saying stuff to you. Somebody else saying something about it might jar up your internal insecurity, but they didn't make you feel insecure. You made you feel insecure. They just brought it up and put a fucking light onto it. They just put a spotlight onto the way that you already feel, and you know that. So please don't get confused and think that everything about personal excellence is to get external validation. A lot of it will seem like that. That's why, again, my platform. Pursuing personal excellence by minimizing the ego. Pride is the cardinal sin. Pride is the cardinal sin. Oh, look at me. I did this. You're supposed to be gifting. You're supposed to say the glory be unto God, not unto me. He gifted me with this body. That mentality will make it to where your pursuit is linked to something bigger than you. That's what gives you the longevity to stay through the period that it takes to get the result. The physical result takes patience because it takes a long time. The reason so many people quit is because the result doesn't come fast enough and they're a results-driven fuck. So what happens is, not on my timeline, not good enough for me. They're not saying, I'm doing this for others. I'm doing this for the greater good. I'm doing this for the collective conscious. I'm doing this for infinite intelligence. I'm doing this for divine oneness and the connection between everyone. I'm going to be a good role model and a good example to everyone around me. And if you haven't noticed, I'm on the spiritual kick. But again, I'm doing this to honor God. I'm doing this to honor the fact that I was given a body. Your physical core is the shell that you have been gifted by being born onto this earth. By being born and having a consciousness and having a core, a body. You've been given a mind, you've been given a body, and you've been given a soul, you've been given a spirit. That's why I always talk about mind, body, spirit. Old stuff. This is very old stuff. You treat your mind properly. How do you treat your mind properly? You don't poison it with garbage. You don't fill it with hate. You don't think negative things about people. You aren't judgmental. You aren't ornery and edgy all the time towards people. And you don't talk to yourself in a way that's negative. The two things are linked. The more you live positively with your physical core, you signify to your mind that you care about you, and then that cycle goes back and forth. Then your mind goes, oh yeah, you know what? I do show up. I'm awesome. I'm rad. I can do this. And then those two things play off each other. Your self-talk, your mentality, your mindset, it will make it to where you can do more physically with your body. Then when you start to do more physically with your body gets tuned up. It gets better. Everything gets easier. Then your mind starts actually enjoying life a little bit better. A lot of physical ailments go away when you start exercising and eating right. A lot of the fucking mental things that you thought were plaguing you that were all mental, turns out a lot of those were physical, and they were just physiological responses to the trash that you've been doing to your actual physical core, somatic psychology. So don't get caught up in isolating everything and thinking that they're not connected. Like I said before, I took Ranjan Chatterjee's thing, of that it's the balance of all of them that keep pushing each other up and keep them in check. That's why you guys are getting mistaken. You guys are like, I'm unhappy. I must have a mental health disorder. No, you have a physical, mental, and spiritual disorder. It's called lack of alignment. You're out of alignment. It's no different than your car. If your physical body is shit, if you poison yourself with drugs and alcohol, you poison yourself with terrible food, you poison yourself with bad media, you poison yourself with screen time, you do no reading, no reflecting, none of that shit, no growth. If you do all that, physically, mentally, your mind is inside of your body. It is going to take a beating. It runs off of the fuel and energy. And also, it runs off the actions. That's what reinforces the love for yourself to your actual neurocenter. Your brain, your actual uptake of the information. Your brain is uptaking information up for around you. Well, how are you acting? The way that you're acting signifies to your mind whether you love yourself or not. That's a fact. The spiritual part, again, is to eliminate the vices. That's the whole thing. The 7 deadly sins.